What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and obviously, if you saw the title, this is a spoiler video. So if you've already clicked on this, I don't know why you would, because it's a spoiler video. So I shouldn't have to cover it up. I know some YouTubers cover up the spoilers, but it says spoiler in the title. So if you clicked on this, you clearly want to know what's going on. Yeah, I'm a little irritated, but that's because of what these leaks might pertain to. But let's just go ahead and read them, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. As always, thank you, Herms, for translating these. But yeah, let's just hop right into it. So episode 124 will be January 21st, which is this coming Saturday night, which should be the 20th, actually, for us. But it'll be the 21st in Japan. A stormy, fierce attack. Gohan fights with back to the wall. Goku and Vegeta keep up their fierce attack, but Jiren fights back hard. Nothing really new there. Just really basic information. We already have seen the preview for this episode, so we know the main focus will be Gohan going to help Frieza with Dispo. But it seems like we'll probably get a few scenes of Goku and Vegeta versus Jiren, but I'm not expecting anything big. Now, here's where things get a little weird and what kind of irritates me. So, January 28th will be 125. Majestic, Advent of the God of Destruction, Topo. Just as number 17 and Frieza have Topo cornered, something strange starts happening to him. Now, my issue with this, and I'm sure it's obvious, is that where is Gohan being mentioned in this? So, a couple of things could be going on here. One, maybe the light cage we saw Frieza putting them in was a way to eliminate Gohan and Dispo at the same time. Maybe Gohan thought his role was done and Frieza just knocked them both out by taking out the floor. I'm hoping that's not the case, but, you know, it could happen, I guess. Another thing could be Gohan could still be fighting Dispo in this episode and maybe him and Frieza switch places, so maybe Gohan's going to keep fighting Dispo on his own, and Frieza goes over to help 17 because Frieza's stronger, which is kind of cool. I like this dynamic, number 17 and Frieza, because they're both former villains who wanted Goku dead. Frieza's still a former villain, but 17's not, so it's kind of cool having this little team up. It's a very interesting kind of combo, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of techniques they can use together, if they even work together at all, because they really shouldn't have any animosity towards each other, because it's not like, unless 17 is just like, oh, well, you killed Krillin, and that's, you know, my sister's husband, so I don't like you, but they should have nothing against each other. So, working together should be fine. Or I guess a third thing could be maybe Frieza's about to get knocked out by Dispo and Gohan takes the L. But here's the thing with this, and Gohan I always saw as this is kind of his, like, I don't want to say redeeming arc, because he doesn't really have anything to redeem for, because he chose the family life, and that's fine, and he came back to fight because it was a situation, you know. If Goku hadn't told him for the Zen exhibition match that the Earth and everything was going to be erased, Gohan would have never gotten back into fighting. This is the only reason. We know he trains on and off, but overall, the amount of training he did for this tournament is insane compared to what he usually does. So, they had this whole build-up, and they did that with they did this with Krillin too, where they built him up and they kind of just shafted him. But with Gohan, he's more of a top-tier, you know, character in the franchise. He's a Saiyan, and Saiyans always get the favoritism. So, I had thought, you know, and this is assuming that Gohan's going to go out, that Gohan would make it at least into the final 3 for Universe 7. I would have thought Frieza, Vegeta, or 17, 2 of those 3 would go out before Gohan. And it still might happen that way. We don't know that Gohan's going out, because usually for these scans, or, you know, magazine descriptions, like for the Piccolo one, we knew Piccolo was going to go out before the episode came out, because the episode after said with the Universe 7's loss of Piccolo. They didn't do that for 18, though. They never mentioned anything when we got the scans for that. So, Gohan could go out, he might not go out. I honestly just don't see it being a good way for him to go out. Dispo is not a Gohan tier acceptable character. I honestly thought it was going to be that Goku and Vegeta would fight Jiren, Gohan would defeat Topo on his own, because 17 would get knocked out, and then Gohan would go help against the fight with Jiren, and either get knocked out, or maybe Jiren gets knocked out along with Goku, and then Gohan's still in to, if Topo hadn't been knocked out yet. And then the finale would have been Gohan versus Topo. But with episode 124, which is the January 21st, which is in 3 days, being called, well, this is a different title than what we actually have, because this is Gohan fights with his back to the wall, but the actual episode title that we got through the Crunchyroll and Verve subtitles is Gohan's Last Stand. So that kind of implies that maybe he will go out, but I'm hoping it's a situation where they either outsmart Dispo and get him out, and maybe Gohan's just recuperating in this next episode while they fight Topo, or maybe even Gohan runs over to help Goku and Vegeta with Jiren. You know, have the 3 Saiyans fight Jiren while having the 2 adversaries of Goku fighting Topo, someone who's all about justice. 17 and Frieza are great people for Topo to fight because of justice, because they were both former villains. But, yeah, I guess we're just going to have to see what happens on Saturday, because, like I said, if Gohan goes out against Dispo, for Gohan fans everywhere, that's going to be a very disappointing end for a very hyped up character for this arc. And I know you really shouldn't look into the endings too much, but the 2 endings ago, which was, I believe, the first ending once we were actually in the tournament, you know, it showed Goku and Gohan charging forward together. So that implied to me that maybe they were going to be the last 2 from Universe 7. And I'm still really hoping that that's the case and that Toei doesn't, you know, dick Gohan like they sometimes do, especially with adult Gohan. But anyways, guys, that's all I've really got for these leaks. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time.